Hey, you know they say teamwork make the dream work. So I'm at the house this morning. I'm laying down. Y'all gotta forgive me. I got the sport turned on, so it'd be a little aggressive on the brakes. I'm going 2 miles an hour through my son's school. So I'm at the house this morning, and I woke up. My spirit woke me up, and my phone was off. I turned my phone off last night when I got into bed, because a lot of times I stay up at night and I work late at night and I'll be up, So I say, okay, let me turn my phone off. I went to reach and grab it about 2 times, about to get on there and do something. But I say, you know what, let me stay off my phone. Just lay here, put my sleep mask on, and I'm put my sleep mask on. I'm gonna lay here. I'm gonna set a timer on the TV, 30 minutes. My wife was already knocked out. She had already said good night. She was knocked out, and it's after midnight, and so I fall asleep inside that 30 minutes. Well, probably not, because I think I heard the TV cut off before I fell asleep, because I got a very active brain, and I done did all the sleep stuff and all the sleep studies and all of that right there. It just, Lord, make some of us different visionaries. And so I falls asleep and I wake up this morning, and go use the restroom, and I hear my wife talking to my sons. So I go on, get back in the bed, and I say, well, let me try to go on, get back to sleep, see if I get back to sleep. But I feel wide awake. I'm feeling wide awake. I'm trying to lay there. I got my sleep mask on and, blocking out the light. I'm trying to go back to sleep because I don't have a reason to be up, And, but then after laying there for a little while, I say, well, you know what? Let me turn my phone on. I say, let me turn my phone on, make sure my account ain't in the negative, because the way I live, I just live, okay? So I trust God. God feed the fowls of the air. He clothed the lilies of the field. I don't have a budget. I just live. So every day I have to wake up and see if I done gone broke and what I'm gonna have to do. And so I wake up, I cut my phone on, I log in, and I say, all right, Lord taking care of me. I was going into my expense account. You have an expense account, but then you have, your accounts on the market, you have your stocks, and you have your, where you put your money up, but your daily living. And so I have to always check that to see if I need to make a transfer from somewhere, because when you married, you got to make sure your wife got what she need, everything in there, everything taken care of. So I rest easy. I'm like, okay, she'll be able to do what she need to do. So I put my phone. No, I was looking at my phone still, and I get a call from my wife. She said, babe, I need you right away, and you really don't have time to do anything. So I'm sitting here talking to you today. I ain't even brushed down tooth. To God be the glory. Now, fortunately, I brush my teeth at night, so I won't be waking up dragging mouth like some people. But, she say, your son forgot his bobsled and a bag on his bed. She like, I don't know what he thinking. He talking about. She said he talking about. I'm up here yawning. He talking about. He thought I was gonna pick it up, like I'm his keeper. So I don't know what he thinking. Talking about my 14-year-old. So I got to go in there. Literally, I keep some shorts, my house shorts. I keep them at the end of the bed. So they there. I had this shirt that I wore a day or two ago. You seen it in a video. It still was at the end of my bed. I throw this on. I throw my hat on because I ain't got no hairline right now. Throw my hat on. I had some flip-flops under my bed. Get that on. It take me about 5 minutes still to get out because I got to figure out which car I'm going to take, because I'm about to take one car. I couldn't find the keys. That's my wife's car, so she got the keys somewhere. So then I had to get in this car, and then this car ain't got no garage opener, so I had to open the garage from the garage. Then I had to go get another car key and unlock that car to get the garage open out that car. So when I back out of this car, I could go back in the garage, close that garage, then close the other garage with the garage closer. Okay, I just went the wrong way. Let me turn right on in here. On the way I'm supposed to go now. And so, you know, here I am doing all that. So I get on out of there. Hold on now. Pump your brakes now. I get on out of there. I'm flying. I'm down the highway. Turn the sport on in the car. I'm flying down the highway. And so teamwork made the dream work. And I say that to say, now I had just turned my phone back on. Had I not turned my phone back on, my wife would have been out of luck, and she'd have had to turn back around. My son would have been late this morning. I got there before school started. So I got there with 5 minutes to spare. He got on his tights and his shorts. So what they doing today is homecoming week. And what they doing is, you know, homecoming week, you do all these different spirit days. So today is like team day. And so his group is the Jamaican bobsled team. So my wife got the bobsled. She got the tights, the shirts, you know, the bobsled outfit, the helmet, the goggles. She got all that off Amazon. So they the Jamaican bobsled team. And he had left a bag with some stuff in it, and he had left the bobsled. But he came out with the dreads, locks, some of y'all call it. We call it dreads in Florida. Come out with the dreads and the little hat on and the little shirt on, looking athletic. So I dropped that off to my boy. And I say, and you know what? I'm on here because I'm feeling good. That's because I'm feeling good because I'm like, you know, I'm in a different place in my life. And when you start living right and you doing the right thing, you know, back in the day, something like that would have thrown my whole day off. I'd have woke up, I'd have been salty. What? You know, just dealing with what I'm dealing with the just personality, and I always blame it on concussions from college football. That stuff real, but I don't claim that. But just to be able to hop up, drive 40 minutes. I was rushing so much I got turned around. I got off the exit. I ain't want to wait in the long line, so I went up the side, went another way, realized they done changed it, can't do no U-turn like I used to, so then I got to go to the next light. The next light stuck, so then I go to the next area to make a little turn. Bot got into a wreck because I had to bogart a car because he wanted to go and I wanted to go. He had the right of way. I had jumped out there on him. Just grilled him down. Hey, sit right there, boy. Let me get through here. Had to turn around, you know, wasn't driving like no Christian. And then I'm stuck behind light after light after light. I'd have been even 5 minutes earlier if I hadn't got overly aggressive trying to go a different little shortcut. So I thought that turned into a long cut. But what I realized, I get on that road and I'm on this here gas, I hate a speeding ticket. I am not built for no speeding ticket. And I'm on this here gas. I'm going 80, 90, 100 to get my son outfit to him in time before they late for school, so he could try to win this here thing that they doing. He run up to the car. Hey, Dad. Thank you so much. About to win again. Because they done won a couple of the little competitions. Yesterday they was Mario and Luigi and Bowser from the Mario Kart game. Him and the two of his friends. So they doing little creative stuff, you know. And I get to watch my wife come alive on this right here. And this a lesson for me, like, nah, don't tell my wife this. I ain't tell my wife this. But she looking more excited. She looking more excited than my son. She looking as excited as my son. But for a mother who's a full-time mom, this kind of stuff, this her pride and joy. You know, this her pride and joy right now. And that's my pride and joy. 5 miles per hour. Y'all gotta forgive me, this lady here. She be telling me what the speed limit is. I just gotta figure out how to turn that off. Like, ma'am, okay, y'all got an internal compass. I'm saved. I know what speed limit is. Keep reminding me what the speed limit is now. I'm gonna be to remove you from your job. Y'all gotta figure out how to turn that thing off. And so this right here blessed my heart, because it's a lot of it's some women who, you know, it's some women who try to make other women who choose to be a full-time mom, if they're able to, try to make them feel bad. And a lot of times we just speaking from our insecurity. We speaking from, you know, a woman grows up and she sees her mom not work and her dad pay all the bills, but she see her dad is emotionally and verbally abusive to her mom. And so she then in turn starts to hate a woman who does not work, because she does not have her own money and she can't do her own thing, and she got to kiss the butt of a man. So that'll make that woman growing up saying, I'll never let a man take care of me, let a man pay my bills. And then she'll shame women who are in that position, but it's really coming from her trauma that she saw as a child. 45 miles per hour. And then, y'all see I'm working on my cool down technique with the lady in the car. See, I can't get mad with my wife, because that's in a relationship, you got to keep your cool. So I get to go off on this lady in here, catch an attitude with her. Listen, woman, I told you. Nah, and so what happened is, on the flip side, you'll have that mom who she crying, she stressed, she upset because her man is toxic and abusive, and he won't let her go work. He won't let her work because he make enough money to pay for everything, and he want her to cook his meals, clean his house, and be there for the kids. And so what she'll tell her daughter is, don't you ever depend on a man for money. And it's because of what she going through. You see what I mean? We speak from where we are. But see, in a case like with my wife, God has blessed me to earn a living to where from the fruit of my labor can pay our bills, so my wife does not have to work if she don't want to work. And so it was certain times when finances was tight, and when she couldn't spend like she wanted to spend, she would get down. You know, I should have a job. You know, I should have not quit school. I should have kept going. I should have went to med school. I should have become a doctor. And then I would tell her, baby, you could become a doctor. Like, take the MCAT again, or take whatever class you got to take again. Apply for med school. I move wherever. Because me as a man now, honestly, when finances was real tight, I was in my head like, yo, you need to work. Is it anywhere you can work at? That's how I was. Let me say that proper for those of y'all who don't speak English. I was like, yes, you need to work. I didn't say this out loud in my head. Yes, you need to work. Is there anywhere you could work? And so, if my wife called me, I got to get off the phone, and this video would be cut abruptly, but she taking pictures and all that at the school. Oh, this the boy mama right here behind me. She probably recognized me too. One of my son's friends. People be looking all in your car. I ain't got no tent on this, and so I'm filming, so people be looking all in your car. And is he on the camera? It's like, will you mind your business? Keep your eyes in your car. My eyes on the road. And so I wanted to support her, and but guess what I found out? When she went to thinking about work, and she went to thinking about 40 hours a week, and she went to thinking about studying 16-hour days, she changed her mind. I didn't have nothing to do with the mind change. She changed her mind. You hear me? And she came home one day after trying, be a blogger and all of this, and her friend, they was 45 miles per hour. They were trying to blog and all of that. And she came home one day and she said, baby, I don't know if she said baby. I'm trying to give myself credit on that, because my wife, she didn't use terms of endearment for a long time, but I think this time she was saying, she said, babe, I was with such and such, and we were talking, and she doesn't work, I don't work, and we're trying to do this blogging, and we're working on our companies, and we just said to ourselves, she kind of said, people try to make you feel bad when you're not working as a woman, but we get the opportunity to be there for our children at 10 a.m. at a school recital when a lot of women can't take off work because they got to be at work at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and their boss doesn't want to hear, I need to take off 3 hours in the middle of the workday to go to this recital at the school. And they got to work 9 to 5, and the boss don't want to hear, well, I need to be at this recital at 10, and then I also need to be back to the school at 3. So I need to take off at 9:30 to get there at 10. It'll end at 11. I get back 11:30. 9:30, 11:30, I need to be off. And then instead of working to 5 every day, I got to get off at 2 because I got to be there at 2:30. And so if you work in a job, what you have to do, you may have to drop your kids off to school, go to work, and then your kids got to go to aftercare, which is gonna cost more money. And then you get off at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then you go pick your kids up. So your kids have been in school 7-8 hours, and then they go to aftercare another few hours. They got a good 10-hour, 11-hour, 10-hour day. Get to school 7:30. If you pick them up 4:30, you know what that is, about 9 hours. Come on now, what you doing now? Keep your eyes on the road now. See how my eyes on the road. See, people, Tony, you need to drive safe. I'm driving safer than the people around me because I'm not looking at nothing. I'm looking at the road. This is what I'm called to do. When Lord called you to do something, He gonna gift you with what you need to be able to do it. If you're not called to this, then you're not gonna understand this. That's what you got to understand. Thank you. Touch your nose. Touch no. Covered by the blood of Jesus. And so now, hey, calm down now. Calm down now. Hey, you're a little too feisty in that caravan. Come on now. Mom, back in that van on that gas. And so, y'all got to forgive me commenting on the road. I'm very alert on this here road, so y'all got to forgive me. And so, guess what? What I got to see in that is, because I was feeling bad and appearing in my marriage like, man, I ruined my wife's life. I got her pregnant. My son, special needs, intensive care unit. Got to miss 3 days of school. So my wife went back to work after our son was born. But then he was so sick all the time because he was born preemie, 2.5 months early. He was so sick all the time, he would have to be home 3 out of the 5 work days. So my wife kept having to take off. She was in school still, finishing her bachelor's and then her master's. And she was working at a dentist's office, in the office, $10 an hour. And her job that she was at $13.50 an hour, she had to let that go because there was, it was more work and different type of situation. And she had left that job. I didn't want her to go back to that job. That was the group home. I was working there. And so she went to the dentist's office. And then after being at the dentist's office for maybe a couple months, they fired her. And they hadn't paid her. So because they hadn't paid her, now I'm going to tell y'all a little something. And what I'm getting ready to tell y'all is fiction. This fiction because it's against the law. So what I took and did is I created me a Gmail account. And I became Attorney Brown. And to the best of my ability, as country as I am, but I know how to write proper, I sent an email in to her office. And I said, hi, yes, this is Attorney Brown. And I'm writing on behalf of my client, such and such, said my wife's name at the time.
The speed limit is 55 miles per hour.
And I've been notified that she has performed work but has not been paid. As to the Constitute 101.9 AB, I am demanding that she is paid immediately so that we don't have to take further action. Thank you very much. And I signed it Constance and Brown, or Brown and Brown. And do you know my wife's check was sent the next day? The lady didn't like my wife that my wife worked with. She ain't like her. Because my wife, whenever she go into a place, she outwork whoever there. So my wife was outworking the lady. And the lady ain't like that because my wife was winning favor with the dentist. But this lady here, she had the power to hire and fire. So because my wife kept having to take off, this lady had the power to fire. And the lady just ain't like it for some reason. The lady called my wife. Did you have an attorney contact us? And my wife was like, oh, did he? I'm not sure. That was me. Hey, well, I'm a rider now. Because it was somebody bullying my wife when I met her. And this more fiction. And I did a drive-by. On the young lady car. Shot all the girl windows out. She ain't like my wife for whatever reason. And was bullying her. And did my drive-by. It was, nobody was in the car, and it was late at night. Just give a little retribution. Like, listen, you messing with you messing with Cherie Gaskins, you messing with Tony Gaskins. So if I got to get in these streets and ride for her, I'ma ride for her. If I got to become an attorney to ride for her, I'ma ride for her. So I done had to been that guy out there, and I done had to been that guy in here. And so I had to become attorney that day. Hopefully that lady in the office don't follow me on YouTube. What? That the email gone. That the email gone. And so I say that to say, you know, I was feeling bad on that situation with my wife, and God gave her peace. The fire truck way over there, the man in front of me moving. It's like, bro, the fire truck 3 lanes over. And God gave her peace, and then that gave me peace. And God has given her peace in this season that she in as a full-time wife and mom. And she's been in this season for 14 years now. And it's a lot of, it's been times where I be like, hey, baby, you don't want to. And I tell y'all this story all the time, but I share this with the women who you working, but you're going to be married, and you're going to go through that same struggle mentally of whether you feel worthless for not working, or whether it's okay to be full-time with your children if you're able to. And to say, don't ever knock somebody else's decision. If a woman want to work because that gives her a sense of purpose and productivity, and that makes her a better mom, because she not just focused on her kids and she could focus on herself and her dreams too, then to God be the glory. Like, bless her. There's nothing wrong with that. But if a woman has the mindset to where she want to give 100% to one thing at a time, and she's able to give 100 to her kids, and that's what she want to do, then God bless her. You know? And that's what I learned. And what I also learned as a man is that me paying the bills does not give me ownership over my wife. That just because I pay the bills does not mean that I get to do whatever I want to do. Just because I pay the bills does not mean that my wife has to cook every day. Just because I pay the bills does not mean, y'all gotta forgive me, my voice still be in and out. Still overcoming this little cold I caught from my wife. My wife had a cold, and whenever she get a cold, she get bronchitis. It turned into bronchitis just because it happened to her growing up. And so her little cold turned into bronchitis. So she went and she got her medicine for it.
The speed limit is 45 miles per hour.
It was like the antibiotics or whatever it is you take. And so it's a few pills you take each day, one a day. And she did that. So at the end, I think I had come back from out of town. No, she came back from out of town, from New York. Her trip to New York with her sister. And then we rode down south, like 10 hours I was driving that day. And then that night, you know, we got back home. She was like, yeah, I don't even think I'm contagious anymore. So we went to kissing. Up there kissing 2 days later. Now I'm sick. I say, boy, I should have listened to my first mind. But I wanted to kiss my wife so bad. I was like, man, I'll take this sickness. If she got a little germ on her, got a little bug on her, I'll take this here sickness. So I'm actually sick because I willingly and deliberately kissed my wife knowing she was sick. And now she healed and it come to me. And so I got maybe a couple days left with it. But anyway. So yeah. I sure hope my wife picked me up a breakfast sandwich and a Starbucks like she do every morning. But now I done come out, she might think, well, I probably ain't got to get it since he came out. Sure hope she get it for me. I ain't feel like stopping. And so I say that to say, you know, I learned the lesson. I learned the lesson of you don't control your wife just because you pay the bills. That you still have to understand she a human with a heart, with a mind. She's not a robot.
The speed limit
She's
is
not
35 miles per hour.
She's not your slave just because you pay the bills as a man. And vice versa. If the woman pay the bills, the man not a slave. We don't own our partner, and our partner don't owe us. Because even though my wife don't work, I really get to see how much of a full-time job, meaning she don't work outside the house. If I need her to do something in our business, she'd do that. But I really get to see how much of a full-time job it is for a mom. Because like right now, it's 8:13. My wife's still at the school in the festivities with my son, like taking pictures and all of that right there. And then she'll sit there in the car, and if they live stream it, like if they go into the gym to show off their outfits, they live stream it. My wife will sit right there in the car and she'll live stream it, and then she will screen record it and send it to this mom, send it to that mom. She'll send it to her parents, send it to me, send it to my parents. And so like she doing that. But if she work a job right now, all that got to get shut down. Hey, you got to be to work. You got to clock in. And working moms know this. Like there's a sacrifice. There's a couple things that you miss. There's some things that is that extra mile with your child that you don't get to go. And if you got to work, you can't feel bad about it because you paying the bills. You got to do what you got to do. You know, but a working mom can admit that, no, I can't go and do every little thing all the time, depending if I got a particular certain job. Now, some jobs you got the flexibility and you could do that. And so when I done asked my wife, well, baby, hey, you want to open like a boy's boutique because you love fashion and the boys, you love trying to dress them. You want to open up a little boutique? I ain't got my stick on this here car, so y'all got to forgive me. And depend on who working today, if he know who I am or not. Coming home.
What's the last name?
Gaskins.
You got a Maserati now too?
I've always had it.
Have you?
I just keep it at my other house.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
See, that's a Caucasian. The other day that was a Hispanic. And the reason I point that out is, you know, sometimes other races, they be shocked if they see you in a little bit of success. And I don't hold back on them. What year is this? This year? Even if it ain't this year, cause you pocket checking, you pocket watching. Got a Maserati now? I've always had it since 2012. I've had one, sir. But and when he said he wasn't smiling, he was like, got a Maserati now? Oh yeah. He ain't say wow, this thing is bad. Woo, this thing is nice, man. Congrats. You see what I'm saying? That's why I be trying to tell y'all don't be believing me. Everybody don't be happy for you. Everybody don't be happy for you, man. Because you know, as men, we love cars. And so, like, the man at the other gate, he was like, man, that thing is bad. That thing is nice. You know, that's what you gonna do. This guy here, I ain't saying nothing about him now. I doubt he watch me on YouTube, but if he do, hey, he got to have a reckoning with himself. I ain't like your energy, sir. I ain't like your energy. And so, I'm gonna ride around a little bit, because sometimes I pull up to my house and people be, oh, I seen your address. Okay, well, you can't get through that gate. Okay? They got to call me. So, God bless you. That's why I live in here, so it's better than Hollywood. You see, in Hollywood, them celebrities, they houses getting robbed and everything because it really ain't many gated neighborhoods out there in Hollywood. They spend millions of dollars and ain't even got no gate with security. I say that do not make any sense to me. I'm not finna spend no millions of dollars on no house and I don't have 24-hour security with guarded entrances. I got guarded entrances in here and I ain't have to spend no $1 million on no house. I'm like, man, you need guarded entrances because people nosy and people be Googling stuff and people be finding addresses and finding stuff and be wanting to rob you and all that. You can't get in here. And if you do get in here, I got something waiting on you. Got something waiting on you. And you finna have a date with the Lord or the devil when I get through with you. So come on in. I have to let people know because people online, oh, what time? Listen, I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. I don't live in fear. I do not live in fear. I'm not finna be in a prison of success, meaning that when you in the public eye, you can't even live your life because you crippled with fear about what somebody gonna do to you. I don't live like that. So listen to me. And y'all gotta forgive me for these little rants and stuff and just going off on a little tangent, but I do this right here because it's always a lesson in something for somebody, and we never know how many opportunities we gonna get to leave a message for somebody. So for one, what I want to really do on this here is encourage the moms, like, to embrace the season that you in. If you're a stay-at-home mom right now, or if you got the opportunity to work from home, or you got a little more freedom with your child, really embrace that and don't miss that. Don't let the world make you feel guilty about going to every recital and going to every practice and not being on a plane, traveling to another city for a conference or a workshop because you don't want to miss your son or your daughter event. Don't let the world make you feel that way. And if you're in a season of working right now and you trying to get to the place to where you can create your own company or you could create financial freedom and you really got to grind for somebody else or even for yourself 40 hours, 60 hours, 80 hours a week, and you can't be at everything for your child, embrace the season that you in and know that you working toward a goal so that you have more time freedom and you have more balance in your life between work and what you do with your child. So, hey, embrace that. Embrace that. And for the men, if you take care of the household financially, don't feel like that buys you ownership. Me and my wife, it was after midnight, we went to bed. When she closed her eyes, it maybe was 12:30. She wake up 5 o'clock. So that means she slept 4.5 hours. So that means she running on fumes. And the reason why, she slept 4.5 hours because she was up doing laundry. she was doing laundry, she was folding clothes, and we just have a crazy amount of clothes that she have to do because our sons play sports. So it's multiple outfits a day. So for my wife, she'll have she got 4 outfits off top, then another 2 for the boys' practice. That's 6 outfits. And then me and her sleeping, that's 8 outfits. And them sleeping, that's 10 outfits. That's 10 outfits a day. And of course, sometimes you could sleep in the same pajamas, 2 times, but over time, we accumulate enough pajamas to where we'll sleep in different pajamas. And so that's 70 outfits a week. If you don't do nothing else outside of that. If we go on a date, if we have a special event, church, whatever, now you add another 4 to 8 outfits. So you doing that laundry, and that's just clothes. That's not bedspreads and towels and socks and all of that. So I be looking at that laundry. I'm like, it's a lot of laundry, but it come with it, with our lifestyle. And so she be up doing laundry. And then right now, and then in the daytime, a lot of times she be having to do stuff for herself, or she doing stuff for the boys. So she was doing laundry yesterday in the daytime while the boys was in school. But then you got to leave to go pick up this one, leave to go pick up that one, and then she comes spend time with me. In the middle of the day, she comes spend time with me. And, bless my spirit. And, so here she is, she's serving them, she's serving me, she's serving us, she's serving the house. And so if my wife running off 4.5 hours of sleep, what I try to do a lot of times, be like, baby, don't, it's cool. It's just laundry. Okay, we could pick it up out the basket if we need it. You don't got to feel like no laundry master all the time. Just go to bed. Go get to bed 10:30. 11 o'clock, get you a little more sleep. But we night owls. And then we be talking like we in high school, like we high school sweethearts. So even when stuff is done, we still just be talking. And we literally just lay there and talk. So we never go to bed before midnight, because we just be talking. Even when we done, last night she was doing laundry, but we also was watching a show on Netflix and talking about our son's soccer and talking about our son's school, talking about college, just talking about random stuff. And we literally be talking like we still getting to know each other. We in the courting phase, we in the dating phase, and we just, how when everything just be real cool and good when you first meet somebody, conversation be real good. That's how me and my wife conversation is now. That's why I be trying to tell y'all, listen, I really live this. I really live this. I don't just be talking. I really live this. And so I say that to say, I have to understand that my wife not gonna feel like cooking. And then my wife was not raised as a cook. It's some women that was taught how to cook by their mom. My wife wasn't taught how to cook by her mom. So she's still learning how to cook as an adult woman. And she wasn't taught how to cook by her mom because her mom didn't have a man in the household. So her mom and her mom coming from another country, had to work under the table sometimes to get that paperwork right. Had to work 2-3 jobs, had to work dead-end jobs, had to work, had some good jobs, some bad jobs, but just drained and tired. And it just her and her daughter, they had some tough times. My wife tell me sometimes they'll have to split a bean burrito, 89-cent bean burrito from Taco Bell. Most nights, that's what they did for dinner because her mama couldn't afford groceries to cook dinner because of the life they were living. They had to live, my wife had to live with other family members a period for years of her life. with her mom. My wife told me one day, it just came out one day, and she said I was evicted 16 times. We was evicted 16 times from apartments. From apartments before I hit the 9th grade. That's what my wife told me. She said 13 or 16 times. A child will count that. She said, I don't know if you know what it feels like to come home from school and she said, I don't know if you know what it feels like to come home from school and all your furniture is on the sidewalk. Is on the sidewalk of the apartment. I don't. Because I lived in the same house my whole life. From the age of 2. Never seen an eviction. Never had to split a $1 meal with my mama or daddy. I had 2 parents in the household. My life totally different. So I have to also look and understand that with the amount of stress that her mama had, and with the lifestyle that they live, and then my wife, she wanted to stay busy. She wanted to stay busy so that she wouldn't have to feel that pain. So she played basketball, she played volleyball, she ran the bases on softball, and she ran track. 4 sports. And then she was in the pre-med program in her high school. So she did clinicals. So she did clinicals and 4 sports. So her every single day was practice or a game. So she wasn't raised to be a stay-at-home mom. She was raised to be a working woman. But her life took a turn when we met and she got pregnant. So I have to take all of that history and that biography, I have to take that into account. And so when I take that into account, I can't compare my wife to a woman who say, oh, well, my mom taught me how to cook, or my grandma taught me how to cook, and they work 40 hours a week, and I learned how to cook, and I work 40 hours a week, and I cook 5 days a week. And it's like, okay, congratulations. I doubt you went to college on a track scholarship. I doubt you had a 4.5 GPA. I doubt you played 4 sports too. So, everybody's life ain't gonna be the same. You played 4 sports and you had a 4.5 GPA, and you was a biomedical science major in college, and you got to study 8 to 16 hours a day, and you ran track, which is the hardest sport to do in college, on a Division I level, not D2, not D3, not NAIA, not junior college, but Division I, the highest level you could be at. That's what my wife's story is. So I can't compare her story to another woman's story. And just because a woman says she cooked 4 times a week, 5 times a week, don't mean it tastes good. Them kids eating charcoal bricks. You see what I mean? So I could look at this woman over here who work a full-time job and she cook every day. But if her story don't have the trauma and the pain and the experiences of being raised by an immigrant, being raised by a woman who come over here to America at the age of 30 or no, 22 or whatever it was for college. I think came for college late though. So story different. I don't know why this car's still beeping, because it's like I'm sitting still, but it's calculating the stuff that's beside me as if I'm in drive. I'm in park. I'm like, why are you telling me about what's beside me? Y'all gotta forgive me. And so listen to me. I'm sitting right here because I don't want to be moving around. And so I had to take that into account. And I got to look at that situation. I got to say, you know what? I got to thank God for the woman that I got, because every human being gonna have strengths and every human being gonna have weaknesses. So guess what? I could go out and earn a living, and I built up to earn a living on a high level to where my wife don't have to worry about finances because of the amount of streams of income that I've created. And that's my mind. God gave me that ability. But I'm not the type of man that is going to fix plumbing, that's going to build an extra part of the house, that's going to lay tile. I'm not that type of man because I wasn't raised like that. My dad wasn't a handyman. He didn't teach me that stuff. So I didn't learn any of that stuff. How to, I learned how to change a tire, learn how to change oil in a car, but I don't have to do any of those things because I can afford to pay somebody who does that. So I have no desire to change oil when I could go to the 15-minute oil change place and pay $30, $40 and let professionals do it, who do it every day, all day long. So that don't make me feel like more of a man to take food off his table, because that's what he do for a living. I don't do that for a living. Same thing when we got new tile, new flooring laid in the house. I'm not finna get down there and do that when it's somebody who do that every single day, all day. Now, my wife will show me this man over here who he just built this add-on to his house. But guess what? That same man, he can't afford to send his kids on the trips that we send our kids on. He can't afford to take his wife on a vacation to the Maldives like I took my wife. So yes, he could lay tile and he could do this and he could build that, but God didn't give him the ability. It's not his gift. It's not his skill set to create business, to turn that skill into a business and to scale it to 6 figures a year or 7 figures a year. So every single person is gonna have strengths and weaknesses. And that's what we got to understand when we get into a relationship. Ain't nobody gonna be everything. Ain't nobody gonna be your dream. Ain't nobody gonna be perfect. They're gonna have strengths and weaknesses. And what you got to ask yourself is, am I okay with their weaknesses? Does his or her weaknesses cost me anything? Does it cause me pain? Does it cause me trauma? I don't like working out. I was an athlete my whole life from the age of 7 to the age of 21. I played organized sports. I played football in college. I don't like working out. So I got to force myself to work out. And when I work out, I like to work out by myself. I don't like working out with my wife. She work out too hard for me. When she trains, she do too much. And I was asking Dave, baby, let's start working out together. And she was like, well, I'll meet you in the gym and I'll be coming from another workout. I'm like, baby, you're doing too much. Let's just work out together. Just work out together to make sure that we could do it every single day. 30 minutes a day. And she got an attitude because she thought I was telling her, like, you don't work out enough. Or she thought I was telling her, like, you doing too much. And that's why you're not consistent. Which that's kind of what I was saying, but I wasn't saying that, But what I was telling her is, like, neither one of us work out every day. Neither one of us work out 3 days a week. Our life be too busy. Our body be tired because our lifestyle, we be staying up like we high schoolers talking. And so we'll miss our workouts. And God has blessed us. We have a gym at the house, so we don't even have to go anywhere. She don't like going in the gym, though. She like running outside. She run 2 miles. When she work out, she run 2 miles. And then she may do something in the gym. But I'm about to go get me a workout in because I just talked it up on myself. And I was dreaming last night about working out today. And I said, I got to make sure I get my workout in because I missed a workout yesterday. I'm sick right now. I'm like, so let me get my little workout in. It might help me a little bit. But I wanted to share this here with you just because of how teamwork make the dream work, and that none of us are perfect. And that on this here day, somebody could say, well, how your wife and your son forgot his thing for school when that whole outfit is the purpose for school today. But they human. And somebody could, now, if I was a toxic man on a podcast, let me help you understand something now. If I was a toxic man on the podcast, y'all heard that. I still got that little call from me. If I was a toxic man on the podcast, I would have said, I'm making X amount of money. You ain't finna be waking me up out my sleep because I was up late working for you. You ain't finna be waking me up out my sleep to dry no costume to our son. That's your job. That's what you do full time. Do you got to go to work? Do you got to go make any money today? So what you need to do is turn around. You ain't nothing but 10 minutes from the house. Turn around and come back and get it. And if he late, okay, so what? And what? That'll teach him a lesson about responsibility. He 14 years old. He need to learn that lesson anyways. Guess what? I could say that. And to millions of people, that will make perfect sense. You see how the world works? To millions of people, that'll make perfect sense. They'll say, well, a man who pay all the bills shouldn't have to be woke up or thrown off his schedule to help the wife do what she do when she don't have to work. Somebody can make you. Do you see how both sides can make an argument that makes sense? But I say, okay, it's a little bit of sleep. I hadn't woke up anyways. I just was laying in the bed anyways. It's like, okay, yeah, I can teach my son about responsibility, but is that lesson really that necessary right now? He's still gonna get the lesson regardless because his mama ripping him a new one. And he's 14 years old. He's a dependent. He's not an independent. He's a dependent. He's a child. He's a minor. And I'm his daddy. And guess what? I don't always get to come outside and throw a ball with him because I'm on the phone shooting a video, or I'm on a coaching call, or I'm out of town helping raise other young men when he here by himself without his dad, when his dad on the road raising other young men. So guess what? Hey, y'all gotta forgive me now. Y'all gotta forgive me. So guess what? This my opportunity to show him that I'll sacrifice, that I'll wake up in the morning when I normally sleep past this, hop in the car without showering, washing up, nothing. That's a mask. In my pajamas now. To drive 40 minutes, really 80 minutes, because his school, it took about 40 minutes to get there and took me, you seen how long I've been talking. It's 58 minutes I've been talking. Of course, I've been home a little bit and I did a little circle through the neighborhood, but you seen, I turned on the camera when I was leaving his school. That's how far his school is. And so that's gas, that's miles on the car, time is money. But guess what? That's going to translate to him. Love. He's going to feel love. He's going to say, my daddy loved me. Because my daddy suffered the wrong. He could have been tough, taught me a tough lesson, had me late for school, got me a tardy, knowing that I hate tardies, that I never want to be tardy. Out of all the 180 days of school, my son had one tardy last year. He hate being tardy. He hate being late. But humans going to make mistakes. I picked up the slack. That's what a man's supposed to do. Pick up the slack. You pick up the slack. You don't leave your family out hanging and drying just to teach a lesson all the time, because sometimes the lesson is love. Sometimes the lesson is the man going the extra mile and picking up the slack. So understand that right there. Hey, I just want to close at an hour just because I've been rambling, just going and just putting the content out. God bless you.